homemade traditional Peruvian dessert, alfajores, basket of ham, beef, turkey, veggie gourmet sandwiches. Call Giveaways Catering, phone number 778-245-3007.
I worked like almost a month for him, and he didn't pay us, to me and to a lot of the people that we were working with him. So that brings me down a little bit.
Whatever your volunteer work is, volunteering is something that a lot of Canadians do. And I know I have a volunteer job that I do as well.
Our guest has been a fighter since she was a little girl without losing her sense of humor. Sonia Zebadua did almost everything since she arrived to Canada: cleaning, painting, and dishwashing. However, she passed very bad experiences. She faced mistreatment from other immigrants. Sonia Zebadua from Chiapas, Mexico, is our guest in our Tell Us Your Story segment, first part. Welcome to our The Immigrants Magazines program.
Yeah, of course. During my first months in Canada, I had different jobs, right, here and there, and I wasn't that lucky that I got hired for this guy that used to have a painting company. I don't really know if he have it still or not. I worked like almost a month for him, and he didn't pay us, to me and to a lot of the people that we were working with him. So that brings me down a little bit, because I feel betrayed for my own community when I never thought that this could happen. You know, I never been in another country. I always work in Mexico, and people is very nice. Every single Latin community, right, is amazing. Like, after that happened to me, everything has been like very good, I'll say, right, with all the jobs that I hold in the past. Well, I really don't know what are they thinking, why that happens, because in my head, it's like you should help a little bit more to your own people, right? In a lot of people's heads, I think they feel like they can take advantage of it because they know how weak and vulnerable we're at the first months, you know, when you're in Canada, settling with no family, with no jobs sometimes, with a lot of us with no money once when you first come to this country. And a lot of them have families too, you know, you have to think about that. And I really don't know what happens when people betray you that way. Well, yeah, my passion started growing when I was finishing my degree in Mexico. I was finishing industrial engineer in business development in Oaxaca, Mexico. And then somehow my friend Michelle taught me, because her boyfriend at the time taught her how to make sushi. And we're like, at that time, you know, I'm talking like, I don't know, probably 9 years ago, probably 10 years ago, sushi was like this new thing in Mexico, right? Let's try it, let's do it. So we started making sushi. We both used to work and go to school full time. And then we have this amazing free time that it was like Sundays, you know, and we got bored. Like, what are we gonna do with so much free time, right? So we started making the sushi and we started selling it, knocking doors on the street. And it was a crazy idea, but people started buying it. Nobody got sick, at least, and we're happy because of that. And then we saved some money to put on a small sushi place, and it was really nice, very successful. And then I started cooking, you know, in the free time, because of course, as a new restaurant, you don't have a lot of people coming in. Then I started reading more cooking books, and I start like Googling, you know, like, hey, like I can actually be a chef, like why not? Like let's try it on. So that's why I came to Canada originally to study culinary arts. And I remember I used to tell my industrial engineer friends, they're like, hey, I'm gonna go to Canada, I'm gonna study culinary arts. And they're like, yeah, right. You know how expensive the school is in there? I'm like, I didn't even have idea how expensive it was until I came here, until I actually paid the school, right? And then I start cooking, and it's a big passion that is gonna be in my life. Like it's so handy too, you know, because I can prepare a meal in like 20 minutes. Well, leaving home, it was very hard at the beginning because I left home about 12 years ago. I've been outside my state 12 years ago. And at the beginning, I left home because I wanted to be a little bit more open with my sexuality. Being a lesbian is not an easy thing, and it wasn't an easy thing back in the days. Probably now it's better. You know, even with my family, the situation is getting better. I think time is the only thing that can heal anything, you know. And that actually helped me out a lot when I came here, that I can be completely open. You know, my family respect that. And well, my family is originally me and my brother, and then my parents got divorced and remarried again, which extend the family, which make it a little bit more fun, you know. So I have three more siblings, and one older brother, very very lovely. Well, me and Alex, we've been together for almost for a year actually, and it was amazing to meet her. And when I actually met her, a lot of my situation with my family changed, because her situation with her family changed because her parents knew. And knowing this, she took it like super brave, that I wouldn't be able to do that, you know. Now that I actually went home with her, we went home and I introduced her to my family. My family was shocked. It was like, really? Are you saying they were girlfriend right now? They were kind of shocked. And this is the first time that I did it. And actually, I don't know if she knows that or not, but I did it because I saw how brave she was with her family situation, right? That encouraged me and be like, hey, Sonia, you can actually do it too, you know, like get out of the closet. You're like old already. I should do it. So it's amazing. We have like a really nice relationship. She's in school, she works, and she also can handle me, which is a lot. You know, not a lot of people can do it. What is freedom for me? Freedom is follow your passions, I think. You know, try to be yourself and just do whatever you're meant to do. You know, we're all here for a reason, and I think that it's your only job to find that reason.
That's why you love Canada, because of that?
Yeah, there's so much opportunity in Canada, you know, for everything. A lot of people is looking for money. There is a lot of money in Canada, you know. A lot of people is looking for freedom because we are lesbians, gays, whatever you want to be, you can be here, you know. And yes, that's why I love Canada. I also forward to go back to my country one day, you know, because yeah, I don't have family here, you know. And a lot of people is in my situation, but I unfortunately not a loner, that I cannot be alone for a long period of time. And I think going back home anytime soon, probably in 4 or 5 years, I don't know, haven't decided that yet, you know. I think that will be good too, you know, especially because I have young siblings that I would love to be more involved in their life, because at the end of the day, it's all we have, right? Is your family. I feel it's challenging. That it's very, very challenging to be an immigrant in another country when you leave that safe place, you know, that nobody wants to. It's comfy to be at home, you know. There's always a hot meal ready for you. It's different, and well, we all Latins know how amazing our people is, how welcoming we are. And this, we come to a completely different society, you know, when everybody's just like, either send me a text and show up at my place, you know. Like in Mexico, in every single country in Latin America, we do that. You know.
Searching online, I found a letter from a person who is talking about Canadian experience. Let me share with you these lines. You are stung with the word because they say you have 25 years of experience. You have been all over the world, but you don't have Canadian experience. And he replied, come on, this is Mars, this is Saturn, but in here, they say you don't know how to do this the Canadian way. Talking about Canadian experience, we can get Canadian experience working as a volunteer. Employment Tips segment, next.
Hi, I'm Gwen Pawlikowski, and this is your Employment Tips segment. Today I'd like to talk about volunteering as a great way to gain Canadian experience. Now, volunteering is something that is quite easy to do. There are so many organizations that are looking for people to help out and to give their time and their energy and their skills to helping with all kinds of things. For some professions, though, it's not going to be possible. If you are working in a regulated field, engineering, for example, it's not probably feasible to volunteer in that way. But there are other things that you can do beyond, your specific job. And the value of volunteer work is not in necessarily doing particular skills. The value of volunteer work is really in meeting people that expand your network. So if you're looking to gain Canadian experience, there are many, many possibilities for you. You want to get the kind of volunteer work, though, that will kind of give you the Canadian experience that you need. If you're thinking about applying for a kind of management or businessy kind of position, then probably the volunteer work that would best match your goals would be something like participating on a board, right? Maybe being involved in the board of the condo or the apartment building where you live. That might be a place that would use your skills in a meeting or use your financial management skills. That would sort of suit your future job goals. If you are looking for work and it's related to something like customer service, then you want to be volunteering in an organization that will give you a chance to kind of be seen and be visible, and other people who work at that organization will be able to see you helping other people and listening to them and talking with them and representing their organization in a really positive way. So kind of think about your volunteer work as what's going to match your future goals. Okay. Now, it's also really healthy to kind of have maybe a limit on the amount of time that you're going to spend in your volunteer work, because you might be having a lot of fun with it and you might be really enjoying it, but you might want to limit it to either a specific amount of time each week, maybe a few hours each week, or if it's longer than that, you may want to kind of limit it to a particular amount of time, like I'm going to work several hours a day, but just for a couple of weeks or just for a couple of months, right? Whatever your volunteer work is, volunteering is something that a lot of Canadians do. And I know I have a volunteer job that I do as well. And it's something that I have really, really enjoyed. And I don't know that my particular volunteer work will ever benefit me in an employment kind of way, but I certainly have enjoyed being involved with the people at my volunteer work, and I really have found that it has given me a lot more confidence, for example, when it comes to event planning and organization of small events. So volunteering has many, many great benefits. If you are a parent as well, volunteering can give you a chance to be involved with activities with your children, and that's a great way to get to know, for instance, other parents at the school, or other parents in your child's swimming group or whatever, right? All of that networking, all of that being out in the community is really, really good for you. It gives you a really strong sense of belonging in your community, and it ultimately connects you to more and more people so that you get that great information that leads you to jobs. So volunteering, yes, gives you fantastic Canadian experience. You can absolutely write about it on your resume. But it also helps to give you that sort of strong community sense of belonging, and that's a really fantastic experience to have. So I highly recommend volunteering, but I think you need to do it in a kind of managed and reasonable way. You can write about volunteer experience on your resume. That's absolutely fine. You can write about your accomplishments and your skills and your tasks, just like you would with the rest of your work experience. But I would urge you to be kind of upfront and honest about it, right? Maybe label it as volunteer experience. I think that employers really like to see that you've done volunteer experience, and it definitely is Canadian experience, but you want to be really clear that it was volunteer. I think that we've covered the most important issues about volunteering, and so we need to wrap up today's employment tips segment. Thanks for watching. I'm Gwen Pawlikowski.
If you are a nature lover and enjoy all exotic races, Philippines is waiting for you. They know how to smile and have fun. Philippines, in your country, my country segment.
Fun. It's more fun in the Philippines. In the Philippines.
nobody is perfect. Do you feel nervous in front of our camera? Behind the scenes, next.
And then, well, sorry, I just got lost there. Porque, ¿para qué trabajamos tanto? Luego me pongo a pensar, ¿para qué trabajo tanto? En realidad me gusta tanto la tecnología que quiero comprarme un BMW, una cosa. No, me gusta, trabajo mucho, ahorro mucho, me gusta comer bien. ¿Se nota, va? Precisamente por eso, porque luego, mira, trabajamos tanto para comprar comida, comemos tanta comida chatarra y al final todo ese dinero que trabajaste lo vas a tener pagando en medicina, lo vas a tener pagando en hospitales, en eso. Nada más come bien desde el principio, ¿no?
Why an immigrant become our worst enemy? If you are that kind of person, in my opinion, you are totally wrong. Try to help them. Try to help your peers instead of putting barriers on their ways. We, all immigrants, already have enough obstacles to deal with every single day. Why an additional burden? I don't think so. Just try to be a better person. And also try to be a better immigrant too. Just try it. I am Fabiola Palomino, your host.
Nora Valdés te ofrece orientación y la información que necesitas para iniciar tu nueva vida aquí en Canadá. Para mayor información llame al teléfono 604-351-0625. Problemas de relaciones interpersonales, separación, divorcio, problemas con niños, adolescentes y adultos.
Soy la doctora Yolanda Montoya, soy Clinical Counselor y mi teléfono es el 604-861-1071.
Esa es gran parte de lo que quiero implementar cuando yo tengo una compañía. Siempre he visto autobiografías en la televisión de todas estas personas que han creado Google, los creadores de Facebook, los grandes empresarios. Digo, bueno, es una idea lo que les tomó, ¿sí? Es una idea los que los tomó llegar ahí. Mantenerla es diferente, ¿no? Porque una cosa es crear algo de calidad y otra cosa es mantener esa calidad todo el tiempo, ¿sí? Entonces Google, por ejemplo, los dos creadores de Google tienen a su staff, pero maravillado porque llegan y es como estar en un centro de diversiones y tienen comida gratis y todo es orgánico. Entonces, eso me gustaría tener a mí, poder brindarle eso a los empleados, sería maravilloso.